a bunch of questions just to wonder about what's going on and how can you make this work in your district. Because if you don't have a technology plan, a lot of the other stuff is not going to work. I sold this to my treasurer, I sold this to my superintendent, I sold it to our board. The nice thing about it now is, when I went through my treasurer, I now have the money. It's budgeted in the 5-year forecast for it. So I know a lot of times with technology plans, it goes really well, but then you don't have the money, or it changes from one year to the next. He's put it in there, so it's good to go. My superintendent switched. So as soon as I got a brand new superintendent, I handed him the technology plan. I said, here's some light reading for you. And handed it to him, and he said actually one of the reasons he came to Pickerington was because he knew that we had a really nice, robust, innovative structure of things ready to go. So thinking about those, this is online. We'll give you the link at the end of the day here, at the end of the hour. Feel free to steal this, use it, do whatever you want with it.
So that was an addition that we added to them. I don't. So that was additional that we added to them, to the initial rollout. Do you have any questions so far?
You don't have the PC in the classroom.
Say that again?
You don't have the PC in the classroom you're using the MacBook.
We do not. Correct. So
the MacBook is kind of replacing it.
correct. So we do not have like a desktop in the classrooms at all. So everything is either a MacBook or a Chromebook. That's correct. And that's in all classrooms.
What about smart board?
So smart boards were in place in some of the classrooms. It was never a district-wide implementation. So we see a smattering of smart boards here and there. Each classroom, again, most classrooms have dock cameras. Again, that was from the previous to this. Something in dock cameras, projections in every classroom. So they do. So we can get either device.
Go to the next station.
You'll find visual features.
There's nothing, it's just how they've been taught. So we want to preserve the value of traditional learning as well as pulling up the pieces of blended learning and incorporating more things. So in year 0, this is what we do. We have our traditional classroom. It's all pretty much, teacher in front of the class and that kind of thing. Then in year 1, we do a semi-blended. We're piloting things, we're assessing things, we're seeing how things are going. We are using the Future Ready framework to assess at the end of every year what year we're on. If you aren't familiar with Future Ready, then make sure you go to one of the sessions and look at it. It's Ohio's new Future Ready program for schools. It's really an amazing framework to put together. That's what we use to build our technology plan. So with our teachers and blending, we started with station rotation because that was the easiest way to get started. 4 stations. We focus on a mini lesson, on like a 5C hands-on activities. We do independent practice, and we do now digital content. We're using digital content and they want to
even though we're 1-to-1, I don't want to see 25 kids all sitting in a classroom in a Chromebook on the same program. What's the point?
I don't have a lot of issues. Brian told us that he is going to, he's in the process of rolling it out. We have so many hotspots that are going to be in the library. I just found this out today. And the children that free and reduced lunch that they can check out hotspots through the library. We're doing it through, I think it's T-Mobile.
Yeah, what's the word to expect that too?
T-Mobile to where they can check them out. So we're in the process of rolling that out. I don't have a whole lot of kids. 2 years, the first 2 years we rolled out, I probably only ran into issues 3 or 4 times to where a kid would say, I knew that they did not have access to internet at home. And I just told them, you got to let me know before, not after. If you tell me, hey, I don't have internet access, I worked around it and worked with it.
I had a teacher that I knew, and he would create a map of his city as Lakeland. He'd map out the different Wi-Fi hotspots in the city, so that kids could go to McDonald's, the library, wherever. He'd hand them out because a lot of his kids didn't have access. It was really great.
That's a good idea because every place pretty much you go,
right?
You can get that. But most of my kids didn't, and I told them in the beginning, hey, if you go home and internet's out for the evening, you know which ones are using and which ones are teachers. on how to use Google Classroom. I started on Google Classroom, and then I went in. I went in and helped the students. I went in and helped the students get on Google Classroom. I think that's the biggest fear among, especially the younger grades, kindergarten and first grade, is getting those students on Google Classroom, getting them to type in their username and their password. Once we did that, the students have taken off. I mean, their writing has just transformed over the last couple of months, just in having them every single week write and turn it in Google Classroom and write digitally. We do a big focus on blended learning. Pretty much all of our classrooms are implementing some form of a station rotation or choice boards. We've got kindergarten teachers that our kindergartners are using choice boards. They're making choices and deciding where they want to go and what they want to do. They've got their must-dos and their can-dos, and then they go on and they work through those choices, which is phenomenal. To see that happening in kindergarten, it didn't happen at the beginning of the year. We just did a traditional station rotation, but we kind of began implementing small little choices for the students to choose, and now kindergarten students have their own choice board that they're working through. Big focus on the CMR model. We don't just want to digitize putting a worksheet on Google Classroom and having the kids write on it. It's not transforming their learning. We really want the kids to be creating, and for the most part, every classroom that I walk into, the kids are creating in some form. We use Weave Video, train the teachers and students on Weave Video, Book Creator, Storybird is another one. We've got kids creating puppet shows. They'll write a story and create puppet shows. Again, it all ties back into the content standards and what we start there first. Do some small PD for the kids, work kids through that, PD for the teachers, and then we kind of let them go. We've done in some classrooms, where I'll teach a small group of kids how to use an app or a program, and then they split up and they go out and teach each other, which has been really awesome to see, because the kids will come back and say, that Liam, he's such a great teacher. He really explained it and knows how to, teach me, and now I can understand it and I know how to do it. So that's been really awesome. Any other questions? Are you guys one-to-one yet, or you are? Okay. What about you?
No, we're 2 years out before we're gonna. Sure, that's our goal.
Yeah.
We're just not the beginning of this planning stage.
Okay. So you guys have devices that they.
We have tons of devices in our district. We're not quite one-to-one yet, but
yeah.
We have like phone cards.
Okay.
So
yeah.
We just haven't made that transition to the one-to-one.
Yeah.
So you in classroom a lot then?
Yeah, so I have meetings Monday and Friday usually, and then I'm in the classroom Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I could be planning with the teacher during her plan time, or I'm in the classroom working with the kids. So I have like the perfect job mix. Yeah. Are you guys one-to-one?
We're in Pickerington.
Okay.
Grades 9 to 12.
9 to 12?
Yeah.
We're set up to one-to-one FY19. This year I got all the teachers' Chromebooks and got them PDs.
Okay. Do you guys like being one-to-one? I guess you guys can hear from a teacher's perspective.
I'm first grade, so
okay.
We do have some login issues and with the little kids.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot for them.
Yeah.
But it has changed everything, and they love it.
Yeah. I don't think I could go back to teaching without being one-to-one. Yeah. Like, I don't think you could force me into a district without being one-to-one now, because it is different. It's a lot easier. And I think the kids are used to it too now. Yeah. I know it's hard at the beginning. But yeah.
We started out with the iPad and on 4th grade, and that was a little bit difficult for the typing reasons. We couldn't have them writing so huge, we couldn't have them type, and a lot of the flash, like on websites, like there's virtual science labs, we couldn't use that on the iPad. And now that we have the Chromebooks, it seems to solve all those issues.
And that's another thing. Some people really like iPads, other people like Chromebooks. So finding that.
I like the iPad.
Yeah. So making sure everybody's happy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But in the PowerPoint there is links if you do want any of those websites. Just let me know if you have any other questions.
H-A-G-A-R-N.
Alright, let's
stand in the middle here. See what happens.
I don't have time to talk about anything.
Yeah.
But that's debated. The lights are on there, right?
Yeah, we're doing.
Right now, some pressure.
Like this little thing?
What's that?
Little 360 video.
You had that on that Pickerington when you were showing, right? Yes, nice.
Well, they updated it to now I'm gonna upload it to YouTube and turn it into a VR. So you put the goggles on, and it's like you're sitting in the sitting right here in the conference room.
Do you have those online right now? Mm-hmm. Is it a cost to look at them, or do you just have a lot of
Yeah, so I do
you have to try some of this.
Yeah, I'll do TBTs that way. Different meetings.
Yeah.
That would feel like
Yeah, I want to take
in
it.
it.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a great.
Several times.
Feel free, grab a chair, pull up, whatever.
Hey Brian, I'll upload this for you.
Okay.
And it's going to be VR. So it'll be like people are inside of the conference in the meeting. So
Love it.
I'll get it to you.
Love it. Thank you, sir.
You got it. I did all the stations, so you're good.
All right. So basically, this all came about.
My husband already texted me to say that my son stopped throwing his hissy fit, so we're good to go. And he made it to work. So it was one of the
Hey Jen, I put the shirts back here for you, so you're good to go. Lots of pressure. Hey, you did an awesome job though. Absolutely great. I'm gonna send this to Brian. It's gonna be a 360 video, but I'm gonna upload it to YouTube as a VR. So you should put the goggles on, and it's like you're sitting inside of the whole meeting. So I'm trying to get them all for you. Sorry.
Questions about it, please ask us. So what are the supposed to be devices? So I'll get on task at this point. So this is the main device that we have. It's the Chromebook 11. Which one is it? The 3189. So this is what we've gone with. We have 8,000 plus of these in the district. This is a device that's in our 3rd through 10 at this point. And that's what Eric had mentioned too. Our K to 2 goes iPad. So K2 is iPad. From that point up is Chromebook. Our 11th and 12th graders this year have iPads as well, but that's a legacy thing. So as they graduate, they will not have iPads replaced in those grade levels. The Chromebooks will follow the sophomores into when they're juniors and then when they're seniors. So in 2 years, we will be Chromebook all the way through high school. And again, that was because we had enough iPads to do that, to get those out. So speaking of that then, so we have iPads in the lower, so that's K2, but they do not go home. So our one-to-one is in school.
So for content websites, students were able to make sure that the content was at their level instead of a higher level or way too low. So they were right on where they needed to be. It also allowed for a lot of gamification. So I like to add gamification into the teachers' lessons and make it a little bit more engaging for the students, and they love getting those badges or rewards at the end and going through those challenges. And then VR, we have the VR kit, and students can actually go wherever we're talking about. So if we're talking about pyramids, they can actually go and see what they're like, because a lot of students have not traveled outside of their county. And then this is a student who just learned how to incorporate a YouTube video into Google Slides, and he was so excited, so I thought it was the cutest video.
And that was a big piece, that if they're going to be using it, the teachers needed to know how to use it. And it really forced those teachers to begin learning and using the Google apps. One of the things they'll tell you, at that point in time, they were terrified, and they hated every minute of it. But we got through. Some took the test, some passed, some didn't pass, but they'll all tell you that they learned a tremendous amount of information just by taking and being forced to work through those Google products and learn those tools. So we did that.
Then we also partnered with ESD Professional Development. We still continue to partner with them. If you've not heard of them, check their website out. Marcia Kish is her name. She also has a colleague, Charity Dodd, and they do a big focus on blended learning. So we brought Marcia in. She works with our instructional coaches. Each of our elementary buildings have one instructional coach. So she worked with them, trained the teachers and coaches on blended learning, station rotation, introduced them to choice boards and checklists, and then the coaches went out and worked with the teachers. And then we now have our instructional technology coordinators, which is myself, David, Stephanie, and Gina. And so what we do is we go in and we provide professional development to the teachers and the students. My main rule with every teacher in the elementary building is that I will not come in and do anything in your classroom until I've met with you first. And it drives them nuts because a lot of times they see me and want me to just come in and do some fun lesson with their kids and walk away, and they get to kind of grade papers, check their email, and hang out. And that's not what I will do. So they have to meet with me. They bring what they want to the table. I bring the technology piece, and then we come up with some form of a plan of how this lesson is going to work. We do a little bit of everything. I am in the classrooms pretty much every single day. I go building to building, back and forth all day long. I work with teachers, I work with students. I do a lot of training the kids on the technology, and then the kids go train each other on the technology. Some of the pictures on here that we have, the first picture of the kids. We just started, we're in the process of rolling out with hotspots. I guess we're getting so many hotspots per building, and the children that are on free and reduced lunch can check out a hotspot if they don't have internet at home. It's through T-Mobile, and they'll be able to take that home and back, and that's where they have internet access at home.
And that's through your library?
Yeah, through our library. It hasn't been rolled out yet, but they're in the process. He's hoping to have it rolled out this year. First year, it was not shoved down our throat. It was not pushed. I dove in way too deep, and I had to back out because I was getting too in, and the kids weren't ready for it, so I had to back out a little bit. A lot of them use our coaches, our coordinators that are around here come in and work with classrooms. We have educational coaches that come in and slowly encourage them. They don't force it too much because some were using technology for the sake of using technology, and it really wasn't. It wasn't helping them. It was kind of an adverse effect for them. So it's just slowly rolling them out. I found some teachers that are more resistant sometimes do better if you can find a teacher. See, I'm a teacher. I'm not a coach. I'm not a supervisor. I'm not anything. So they're very willing to let me come in because I'm not in there to evaluate them. I'm not in there to do anything to help them. And I think the teachers that are resistant do better that way because they don't feel they can speak their mind freely and don't feel like they're being judged. So I did that a lot in my old building. I would just go in because I get time to rotate through the buildings and rotate classrooms, and I would go in and teach lessons and just kind of let them help and kind of see it. I would lead it, or then they would try one on their own, and I was just there in case any technical difficulties. And a lot of times they'll just shoot me, hey, can you help me with this? In that building, I had been there so long that they would send kids with me going, it's stuck, help me. And I would just fix it real quick.
But if you start there, it's not going to go well. So when you are working with your teachers, it cannot start as you have to do this or else. If you run with the willing, the unwilling will come along. And one thing Brian was talking about right after was that some teachers are trying to make like one blended learning lesson in a unit. The kids never get used to the process. It's just something we did, not something we do. Does that make sense? So, but sometimes it's a toe in the water. It's a toe in the door to get them to try it. A lot of teachers are scared of it because it's different. It's new. But once you get them to try it, most of the time they're like, okay, because they're afraid the behavior problems are going to skyrocket out of my classroom, right? I worked in 30 different districts across the United States last year as a blended learning coach. 99.9% of the time, if there was already decent classroom management in the first place, blended learning solved most of the problem that there was already there. It might have been worse. Because why? Why would those behaviors change even if they're not supervised in their group? Focus on what they want and they're engaged. You can do learning better. If you take your lesson that you have that was lecture and you plug those pieces in, that's a place to start. I'll talk about instructional rounds again. We saw a history teacher who was doing station rotation. The content was awful. Okay? But he was one of those teachers when I said I was working with him on blended learning, everybody was like, really? Is that good? If you guys